What's going on out there, all you Marvel enthusiasts? Your two favorite Gods of Mischief are back tonight. We're talking about season 2 of the most successful MCU show on Disney Plus thus far. Tom Hiddleston starring as the God of Mischief himself. We're talking about season 2 of Loki.
God of Mischief. Always have been. Always will be.
Wild Boys are back in town, and tonight we're talking about season 2 of Loki. Both of us are huge fans, loved the first season, and back, with the TVA, Mobius, and of course Jonathan Majors' character that was introduced last season, and a lot of characters, and great setup for season 2.
In addition to the cast that you already mentioned, we have, Ke Huy Quan joining the cast this year as Aurora Boreas, character Obi for short. And he brings, his, just fun, exuberant, kind-hearted spirit to the show is really what he brings in, being this worker there at the TVA. So we're coming off the season 1 finale of Loki, where Loki crossed paths with King the Conqueror. That's the first time we saw Jonathan Majors as the bad guy, even before he came into Quantumania and was being set up as, the next phase's supervillain, who's going to get, going to be in the Avengers movies, the King Dynasty, and then Secret Wars probably. But with all the legal problems, who knows what's going to happen there. But his character is back as He Who Remains, King the Conqueror. And coming out that finale where, we find Loki, basically going through time and warping and time slipping in and out of time. So in this season, in season 2, they have to figure that out and kind of figure out the multiverse and how they're going to hold it together. Otherwise, basically their world and everybody they know it's going to be kind of wiped out, and they're not going to be able to control their destinies. Basically, there's a lot of time traveling here. There's a lot of big words and big concepts this, in Loki season 2. It feels like a heavily, there's a lot of sci-fi here and a lot of big words like the temporal aura extractor, which Ke Huy Quan's character has. That's the sole purpose of his character, to figure out kind of the tech side of the stuff and to get it into the hands of Loki. And Victor Timely, who is basically a King variant, but is involved, is basically the mastermind behind, time travel and essentially the TVA itself. And they're going to need his help in order to, basically to save everybody and have a destiny that's not going to end, and basically everybody they knowing being killed.
Yeah, Victor Timely was pretty cool. I like how Majors played that character, all the variants that are talked about and seen throughout, the multiverse. Last season, it's like, if you kill me, I'll have all these variants, and it's pretty much game over because you won't be able to stop me. That's where it kind of picks up with season 2 with Sylvie's character, making the decision and then setting up these other characters. But Victor Timely, I liked the episode in Chicago. I think it was 1920s or something like that. World's Fair, exactly. Setting that up. I've always heard stories and seen stuff in history books, but it's cool seeing that episode. One of the better episodes in the season for sure. But seeing Victor, back then, and contraptions, things like that, and he's in a way more like a con artist, trying to make some money back then, and then fast forward to present time, and his character played by Majors, which was phenomenal. I loved him in this season and what his character is all about, and really diving into that, especially the last 2 episodes. See what this character, He Who Remains, what he's been doing to Loki's character throughout, and just kind of messing with him.
Really showed off his range, where we saw a different variant of him that was more, villain centric. But we saw another side to Jonathan Majors here playing Victor Timely, just a totally different character, and actually more of a protagonist than an antagonist, helping Loki. Very interesting. So, you can see why he got hired in the first place. He can act his ass off, and he can play any character, really. We've already seen him play 3 or 4 different ones. And just, the seasons of Loki here, and then Quantumania, and what we've seen in him. We've seen just, what he can do and why he got hired in the first place. It's just unfortunate what's happened behind the scenes. And, we don't even know if we're going to be following this character as far as we were before, which is unfortunate. he's one of the standouts for sure in season 2 of Loki, which, you know, is a real serious season. It's a lot different than season 1, has a totally different tone, but at the heart of it, it's basically Loki trying to seek ultimate redemption and to find his glorious purpose, which is the title of not only the first episode of the series, season 1, it's the title. And, you know, this might be it for Loki. This, you know, season 2 might have wrapped everything up at the end of this with the finale, also called The Glorious Purpose, where Loki, you know, finally figures out what he's supposed to be doing here. And it has major implications for the multiverse.
And this season is all about the variants, like all the characters, their variants in different timelines and time slipping and the multiverse, you know, kind of going in and out. And it's really interesting. You see like Sylvie's character working at a McDonald's, like the 1970s. He had the vintage looking McDonald's that I've never seen. Obviously, I wasn't alive back then. But the food, just the whole setup, the restaurant's really cool. I thought the set design really fantastic. And then you have other characters. There's a lot of themes and messages you can get out of this. Probably one of the best arcs for any Marvel characters, I think. You know, next Iron Man or Captain America, I think Loki is up there for the best character arcs. What exactly happens to his character and what he's trying to accomplish, you know, for his friends.
I loved Owen Wilson too. I loved his character Mobius and their relationship. Those two on screen together were terrific. They just played off each other so well. They felt like they'd been friends, you know, for their whole life. It kind of had that connection. It showed on screen, you know, Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson working together. Loved the two of them. Loved seeing Ke Huy Quan this season, you know, like I mentioned, he just adds a whole, you know, nostalgic level to the show, you know, being this kid that we were used to seeing back in the day with the Goonies and, you know, the Indiana Jones movie, you know, and coming back and having this comeback with Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then coming over to Loki season 2. He's just having a killer couple of years here, and he's having so much fun on screen, and it just shows. And you can tell he just has a deep passion and love for movies and for being this character. He, you know, he gave it his all, and it was a great character, a fun character, somebody that you believed, and somebody that ultimately helped Loki accomplish what he did and was able to do in that final episode, which has a lot to do with the branching timelines and kind of holding everything together. I will say in the second or third episode, a major event happens and seemingly everything's lost. It feels like they kind of reset the Marvel universe there for a second before Loki was able to come back and kind of figure everything out, and in order to undo what was done and to save everybody's future here heading into the next, you know, phases of the multiverse here in the Marvel universe.
I really thought, you know, the cast across the board of the season was really good. As you were saying, Ke Huy Quan brought a lot of energy. He really elevated the scenes he was in. He brought a lot of life to this season, I thought, because the overall tone of this was different compared to the first. Other characters, Sophia Di Martino that played Sylvie, I thought, you know, she played a different role this season, but I thought she was really fantastic. She had great chemistry, obviously with Tom Hiddleston, but I thought Hiddleston and Owen Wilson has been tearing it up for me lately. Really enjoyed him as Mobius, and I liked his character this season, his happiness, and yeah, he's been tearing it up lately. I liked his whole love for jet skis and key lime pie and all that perfect happiness like a dad would enjoy.
I know. I want to see that character. I want to see like the alternate timeline Mobius here, where he's the jet ski salesman and, you know, just follows his family life. He seems like a good guy. I could see something. We need to get more roles for him. You know, he did all those comedies back in the day and kind of overplayed that and then just fell out of the spotlight for a long time. But he's found a great show to be in here, and, you know, lends his credibility as an actor, and loved how he played off of Tom Hiddleston's character. But man, that final episode, you know, that was really something special there. One of the better finales, especially of the Marvel shows that I've seen, if not the best finale.
I really liked what Loki did and the decision he made, the sacrifice and everything that he kind of goes through, all having to do with the tree of life. And like I said earlier, a lot of meanings and messages and themes you're going to get out of this without trying not to spoil too much for people that haven't seen it. But really, yeah, definitely up there for the best finales in any Marvel show for sure. It was just one blew me away. My mind was blown. I had to analyze the final episode. There's so much thrown at you, and you have to think about it. And just really, really well done across the board with writing. You know, the whole character set design and acting was phenomenal. So really great way to go out if they choose to end this character, you know.
He is much like the puppet master holding everything together, the multiverse essentially together. He literally holding the strings. He's, he found his glorious purpose. And I liked how they wrote the character and his arc and seeing it over these 2 seasons, especially this last season, and the way Hiddleston played this character. It was just excellent and an excellent season overall. And, it only had a few episodes that I, didn't care about too much, but for the most part, overall, this was a terrific second season. And if this is the end of, Loki, as we know it, at least the series, it's a fitting end. But I have a feeling that we'll see Loki back at some point. And it'll be awesome to see. It'll be a great reunion. And it was awesome to see him, as he was when he finally got his crown there. As you can see behind you, that was an awesome scene. And man, just an awesome, terrific scene, a memorable finale. And love the Loki season 2.
Yeah, so if this is it for the TV show, I can definitely see him showing up at the end, Secret Wars or something. I'm not sure, but I could see him coming back one more time.
Yes, I hope he does. I think he has a part there, a big part, like you mentioned, the glorious purpose. And, his character, what an arc. He just did a phenomenal job. Tom Hiddleston. Hopefully he gets nominated for some awards here. He plays his character so well, and he's been doing it since Thor came out all those years ago. I want to say 2011 or something like that. It was a long time ago, but he's been playing this character for quite a long time.
So that being said, I'm going to give season 2 of Loki, now streaming on Disney Plus. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 Tom Hiddleston hair pieces.
And I am going to give Loki season 2. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 He Who Remains hair pieces.
So I want to hear from all you wild TVA enthusiasts out there. What did you like about Loki season 2? What didn't you like about it? What do you think's going to happen next for the Loki character? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to click subscribe. Also check out these wild gods on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV movie news and reviews.
So thank you guys so much for watching our review of Loki season 2. And we will be back to review the next Marvel MCU Disney Plus show whenever they decide to announce its premiere date. I guess the next one will be Echo. Yeah. I think it's going to be the limited series of that. It's going to be under this new banner that Marvel's using of shows that you don't really need to see anything previously before. It's kind of like it's going to have its own label here and have a little bit different tone than what we've seen before. But we have several of their projects in the work. There's an Ironheart series being worked on. And let's see what the future holds here now after, Captain Marvel 2 didn't do so great at the box office. So it'll be interesting to see how they pivot from this and where it goes. It's going to be a longer break until the next movie. Deadpool, it's going to be the big movie of the summer, though. So, everybody's going to be stoked to see if we finally see those wild X-Men show up. And we already know Wolverine's back, so it's going to be an awesome film. But we're enthused about the future. A great send off for Loki here, and hopefully we will see this character again. But it was a great finale for the show. They should probably stop there. It was a great arc, and it pretty much fulfilled that with his glorious purpose at the end. So thank you guys for watching our review of Loki season 2, and until the next Cinephellas TV review, I'm Uncle Henry Loki.
And I'm Uncle Sylvie, signing out until the next TV review.